Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football Show. Good morning to you all. It is time for your Leeds United versus Luton Town preview. Leeds United aiming to build a lead at the top of the championship table. Top at Christmas. Gap about to be created. You've been hearing it front and centre. I've been saying it, and it's going to happen. I believe it. Yeah? Believe it. Believe it, believe, right? Second straight victory on Sunday against Swansea. Obviously, 2 wins on the spin now. We need to continue this run. We are in a very, very strong position. Look, we have 28 goals in the league, bettered only by one team, and that team is Middlesbrough. Only 2 sides have conceded less than 12 goals that we have. I think that's Burnley and potentially Sheffield United. We also boast the division's best home record, having picked up 19 points from 8 games this season at Elland Road. Yeah, including 5 straight wins heading into Wednesday's test against Luton. The last loss came against Burnley, and that was mid-September. And we know really Solomon's slip could have easily been a draw. So we've actually only had that one loss there, and that was back in mid-September. The more insane thing since that game, folks, we have outscored our opponents 12-1. Scored 12, conceded 1 in all them games. It is insane. It is insane. It's crazy numbers. So there is every reason for us to be confident. There is a little bit of trepidation. There is a little bit of nervousness within me because I do believe Luton are a good side. They do have some good players. Thankfully, Alfie Doherty it will be out, but Carlton Morris, Adebayo, Victor Moses, there are other players that they can call on. And they're on the back of a recent win. Yeah, they've climbed up to 16th spot. No one expected them to be as far down the table as they are, I don't think. But they did beat a team 1-0, and that team was Hull. Hull are not in great shape. The fans don't want the manager. The manager don't like the fans. They're just not going right. And I think Tim Walter will be sacked soon. So I don't know if we can give him much praise for that. You still got to win what's put in front of you. Of course you have. But let's not forget, prior to that 1-0 win against Hull, they were slapped up 5-1 by Middlesbrough. And I thought Rob Edwards would have been sacked at that point. And he might have been given a stay of execution. But if Leeds do something similar, which is well within our arsenal, as I've said, 12-1. 12-1. 12 goals scored, 1 conceded at Elland Road since we lost to Burnley. Insane. Maybe this might be the game for him if indeed, Leeds do smash them. And as good as Leeds have been at home, Luton away from home are the polar opposite. They've lost their last 4 games away from home. That doesn't make for great reading. And they've had a really poor start to the campaign. As I said, before the recent international break, they're now in 16th, but they were in 20th. Only above the relegation zone on goal difference, and they'd picked up 15 points from 15 games. It doesn't make for great reading. The Hatters actually suffered a joint league high tally of 8 defeats during this time. They've never done that before in the Championship. So a much-needed turnaround happened. Obviously, they beat Hull. They get back to winning ways. But coming to Leeds United is a totally different kettle of fish, especially when you're so poor away from home as well. Now, what I will say for them, comparative to Swansea, who don't create a lot, and I know they scored 3 against us, but that was an anomaly, and we were really poor defensively. These, on the other hand, score goals. They've scored 18 goals in their 16 games, and even away from home, they're scoring goals. They're not a bad side, Luton. It's conceding that has been their downfall. This is music to my ears as long as we are clinical. We have to be clinical. Now, in the last game, we were. So let's hope we can continue that clinicality and put Luton to the sword. Because Borough, for example, have been inconsistent in front of goal. Now they've found that consistency. Will Leeds United do that? We scored 4 against Swansea. Can we do that? If they can beat them for 5, why can't we? I'm not expecting that, by the way. I think it'll only be 1 or 2-0. And I'd like a bit more boring Leeds. I'd like a bit more control after that game on Sunday. It was a wild one. Now, what will Leeds United do in terms of lineup? Obviously, Daniel Farke spoke about rotation specifically on the wings. I don't know how he's going to play. It won't be Ramazani. He's not ready yet. Will he drop James? Will he drop Solomon? I do think he brings Nonto back in. I do think Aronson will start in the 10. The striker position, again, is up for debate. My personal preference is to bring in Joseph. The wings, I'm not sure, because I like Solomon, you know that, and I think he's starting to cook. We need to let him cook. We need to let him simmer and bring him to the boil. But Nonto also scored, and you can't drop Dan James because Dan James was phenomenal as well. So, I'd hate to be Farke right now. Left back could also be a topic of conversation as well. If Byram is fit enough and well enough to continue in that position, fair enough. But Voba played there. Could we see Voba get a start? Because it's 3 games in 6 days. If Byram plays Wednesday, can we expect him to play Saturday morning? Actually, he won't need to. He won't need to because Junior Firpo will be back Saturday morning. So actually, Byram probably does start. That just came to me. But that back four, when it's on it, is solid. If we play anywhere like we did at Swansea defensively, these will cause problems. Carlton Morris will cause problems. He's a unit. Adebayo's a good player. He played well in the Premier League. They will cause problems for our backline. It will be a tough test. Strout does well in duels. Rodon, not so much. Rodon needs to be on it. It takes sometimes Joe Rodon a while, 15 minutes to get into a game. So I need him to be on it from minute 1 because them two up top could cause problems. Now, we've won each of our last 5 home games. As I said at the start, we've conceded only 1 goal during that time, scored 12. Yeah, I do think it'll be nip and tuck. These do score goals. The mad thing is a mad twist of fate. Like, Swansea didn't create a lot and they score 3. I actually think this could be the other way. Luton do score and they score on the road. But I could see 2 shutouts, to be honest, between this and Blackburn. And look, Tuesday night brings us Sunderland versus West Brom. I'm praying that West Brom get a result and then we can create a little gap. And then on Friday, they play each other. Things are rosy right now for Leeds United. It's good to be a Leeds United fan. I know there's a lot of discourse online that it ain't as great, it cracks, whatever you want to label it, but we're top of the league. And as I've said, there's only one team that have scored more goals than Leeds United. Only one team. There's only 2 teams that have conceded less than us. You know, we've won 5 on the spin at home. Can we make it 6? I hope we can. I hope we can. We haven't lost a game at home since mid-September. And we've scored 12 and conceded 1 since that game. That is insane numbers. Insane numbers. So any team coming to Ellen Road, could they be beat already in the tunnel kind of vibe? Luton, though, got a win. Can they make it 2 on the spin? They've struggled this season. I don't think they will be able to. It will be a tight game. We need to be better defensively and make sure we're clinical. I'm going to go for a tight, cagey, boring 1-0 Leeds United win, but I won't care because we'll have 3 points and we'll start to really fortify that top spot. Let's hope that happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please smash me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit that notification bell and all that jazz. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds.